Hello and welcome to the Piping Show from the National Piping Centre. My name's Fionnlagh MacDonald and today I'm in conversation with one of our third year BMOS Traditional Music Piping students, Finlay MacVicar. If you like what you see and what you hear on this programme, please remember to like and subscribe to the National Piping Centre's YouTube channel. I hope you enjoy my conversation with Finlay MacVicar later on, but right now here's Helen Urquhart with this week's news.
The Captain John A. McClellan piping competition took place on Saturday the 1st of October. There were P, A, B and C grades for solo piping. The overall winner in the P grade was Ian Spears. The Competition League for Amateur Solo Pipers have been busy. Last weekend was their workshop weekend for 2022. The next clasp event takes place on Saturday the 12th of November. You can still register for this event, but you must do so online before this Sunday, the 16th of October. The National Piping Centre has two gatherings coming up. One for the under 18 pipers, which starts from next Monday, the 17th of October. You can still register for this event over at the website. The adult gathering takes place with online and in-person events from Monday, the 31st of October. You can also still register for this over at our website. Lastly, this week we have Thunderstruck, the play by David Colvin here on Thursday and Friday evenings. Tickets are available from the National Piping Centre website. There's no history section this week as Dr. Bova takes a holiday. However, come with us now and we explore the bagpipe shop with our new manager, Jamie Curran.
Hello, my name's Jamie. I'm the manager here at the bagpipe shop. We're part of the National Piping Centre. We're an independent shop and we have every piping supply you might need. So I'm just going to give you a wee tour around and show you what we've got. So here we have the books. We have everything from your traditional P-Brook books, your guards books, to the kind of modern composers, and we even have some drumming books. Here's the maintenance stuff, so your hemps, tapes, blowpipes, all that sort of stuff, so if there's any disasters, just let us know. And then you've got your drone reeds here, metronomes, pipe chanter reeds and pipe chanters. So if you're needing a new reed, one of the guys here is more than happy to give you a hand and help you choose if you're not too sure. Our practice chanters, everything from the absolute beginner, who might want to start out to kind of more fancier chanters like the Blackwood ones here at the top, which is a nice gift for Christmas or something like that. Pipe cases, important to keep the things safe. So we have kind of most modern cases that you would want. If we don't have one, just let us know and we'll tell you if we can get it for you. Here we have our tutor books as well. Just grab one of these. So this is a complete tutor. So if you're a beginner, just maybe want to start out, then you have everything you'll need in this one book. And then if you're still a bit of a traditionalist and you own a CD player, then we have everything from the kind of folky stuff to kind of pipe bands and more traditional P-Brook music and stuff like that. Then we move on to our merch. We have the Piping Live stuff from this year. We also have limited stock of stuff from previous years. So if there's something that you maybe didn't get that you would like, you can let us know if we have it, and we'll let you know if we have your size available. We also have pipes. So if it's coming up to Christmas and you want to get someone their first set of pipes, or you maybe want to upgrade your pipes yourself, again, just like the reeds and anything else, the guys here are more than happy to help you. Let you know, kind of point you in the right direction. Also electronic chanters, we have Dager pipes, the Techno pipe as well, and we also have the Session chanter. We do have a limited supply of small pipes, so if you want to get into the small piping, kind of bellows blowing stuff, then just let us know. The guys will kind of point you in the right direction. And then over here we have the kind of gift items that people really love. So you have your kind of Highland Cow, the hat, and the infamous Chanter MacDuck. So that's our shop. We have most things, so if there's something you didn't see that you would like us to get in for you, give us a shout and we'll try our best to do that. We also have a bagpipe refurb service, so if your pipes are needing some TLC because you've not been playing for a while, phone one of the guys or give us an email and we're more than happy to get them going again for you.
So Finlay, thanks for coming in. This was meant to be a lesson today. But we thought we would just start off your lesson with a wee chat about your own history in piping, how you've gotten to where you are. You're now in third year on the BMUS traditional music programme that we run in collaboration with the Royal Conservatoire, and you've been in the HNC, but you can tell us more about that. But going right back to the start, how did you get into piping in the first place?
Yeah, sure. I mean, being from Uist, it's like sort of really part of the culture there. So you sort of experience it at a really young age, regardless of whether you have an interest or not. It's just sort of there for you to see and hear. So I've always sort of been surrounded by piping. And I suppose going back to sort of 7, 8 years of age, beginning to first sort of pick up a chanter. Kind of partly due to I've got an older brother who plays pipes. He's 2 years older. So when you have something like that in the house and you're hearing it anyway, you sort of tend to just sort of go towards that sort of thing anyway and do what your older brother's doing. So I ended up just sort of playing from that sort of age, and then started getting lessons through the school, through private tuition too, through a couple of people like MacDonald of that kind of famous Glenouig trio of brothers, and also Norman MacLean as well as another big person who kind of...
Tormod,
yeah, character.
He was a great character, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
He's he sort of guided me towards it too, at that young age sort of thing. And then these people they're so good at sort of just letting you go and discover what you want to do with your piping and just music in general. I went to Tormod actually first for Gaelic song lessons, and then started gradually bringing the chanter, and the two sort of flipped themselves on each other's head. So
brilliant. That must have been that's a great start you had with those teachers and those characters around you. I'm interested though, you say piping you were kind of surrounded by it. What does that mean? Were you playing in pipe band, or was it a different thing? Was it going to solo lessons? Was it Cayley's? What was that? What were you surrounded with when you were young?
I suppose it's like all the things you just mentioned. There was a school pipe band. There's only one high school in Uist called Scoil, and that was ran by it was ran primarily by a guy called Dolban, who's the sort of one of the tutors that goes around all the schools in Uist and Barra for the tuition. So yeah, in that sense, that's the sort of pipe band sense. And then the Cayleys are happening, on a weekly basis in some sort of times of the year, so you hear that. And then piping concerts itself with, Keolis, they do a symposium of piping, a piping night. So all these sort of different sort of rivers sort of flow into a great big one. So it's... Yeah.
And I guess at the time it was probably just what you did, but did you realise at the time it was a kind of, you were playing maybe in a style that was particular to your culture, your area?
Not at all. Not at all.
No, so
no.
You just do
just playing for the, I wasn't knowledgeable enough to know that was a sort of style until I came to Glasgow, maybe three or 4 years ago now, and then I was told that, I suppose like a classic example is the sort of jig playing from the Hebrides is very, very swung. And reels too, it's just typically a bit more swung than you might find on the mainland. So I had no idea I was doing it. I was kind of, in hindsight, it's almost better, I think, not to know and be told when you're at a stage and you're mature enough and you're playing where you can make decisions on how to play yourself, because you've got that sort of experience and the skills to do that, to kind of specialise. So I'm kind of glad almost that I didn't have a clue.
It is that kind of, the ignorance is bliss almost at that point. And I think back to when I was younger, and even things like with the pipes, like I remember thinking when I was younger, I used to go out to the garage and practice, And I used to think, the pipes are singing, they're going great. If I listen back now, they probably weren't at all, but it's that kind of, you just enjoyed it, and that was it. It was what it was at that time. I was just intrigued as well, were you speaking Gaelic the whole time since you were young?
Yeah, pretty much. I sort of, native speaker to Uist, although it has definitely diminished Yeah, looking to speak more Gaelic, but yeah, it does have an impact though. However, there's so many people of my generation and my age in that boat of probably had better Gaelic when they were younger than they do now. And although, you know, that's not great, through piping it's been great to kind of rediscover elements of it, especially on the BMUS course. I think last year you kind of specialise in taking a look at where your roots are in your piping and discovering where your piping actually came from. So, like the Hebridean style, like I didn't know much about that, and now I've gone back and I've researched it, and it's, you know, obviously its own sort of specialised form of piping. So yeah, all those kind of things.
So we fast forward to kind of now you're in third year. How did you get here? You know, so you said you came to Glasgow to study piping. What was your first kind of pathway into that?
I suppose I did 5 years in UIST at high school, and then I moved for my last year to the music school up in Plockton. And at that point I wasn't even thinking properly about having a career in music or music orientated. It was just a sort of change of scene, and my big brother had gone 2 years previous, so I thought I'll have a shot at that too. And at that time, before moving to Plockton, I was a fairly regimented sort of Highland solo piper who was interested in competitions and rounding off reels and that sort of thing. And then Plockton just sort of opened my eyes to, like, you know, so many possibilities within the world of not just piping but music in general, especially traditional music. And that was a harsh learning curve, not knowing anything about, you know, keys, anything like that, just coming with a knowledge of pipe music. But I suppose halfway through that, when you start to understand things a bit more, and I suppose you sort of realize within yourself, like, this is something I want to do. So I'd say Plockton is probably the first place I thought of, I can actually go and do this. And naturally the options were RCS and the HNC/HND they run here at the Piping Centre. And yeah, I went for it. I was too late to apply for RCS because I was dithering too much. So I came down and applied for the HNC. And, you know, it was first year down in Glasgow. I didn't apply myself to the best of my capabilities. But yeah, I applied for RCS that same year that I was down doing the HNC and got in, and just sort of waited to get into the real kind of thick of it with the 4-year degree.
And here you are now, third year, just at the start. How's it been for you? Like, talk us through how you've kind of developed in your piping and your kind of broader knowledge of traditional music, and how have you enjoyed it so far, I guess, is the main question.
Yeah. You know, it's been...
and you can be honest.
Yeah, no. It's been difficult at times. Especially my first year was obviously the year that COVID was really having an impact on just worldwide situations. So I spent most of the degree back home in North Uist on a laptop, and, you know, I feel like some instruments you can kind of balance that off with online teaching, but pipes is just a nightmare. You know, you can't really do it justice. So that was hard, especially, you know, I suppose, like, being so excited and keen to get onto the course and start.
You missed out freshers week.
Yeah. Well, I think, to be fair, I think that's you know, I've still got another like 10 years to live thanks to that, I think. Yeah, it's been great so far. Now that we're back in the building and everything's so face to face. You can't compare the two, I don't think.
So moving on to what's next for you. What's on the go? I know you're doing some gigs over the summer. You played here at Piping Live.
Yeah.
What's on the horizons for you musically?
I think well, I've got my own sort of thing called just my first name in Gaelic, Fionnlagh, which kind of it's more of a sort of, I suppose, not just like a band. It's sort of, sometimes it's me just playing solo gigs when they come up, all primarily on small pipes in the key of sort of B and C. And then there's the sort of four-piece of myself, Gilly O'Flaherty, Sarah Hannafy, and Malachy Arnold. And yeah, trying to get gigs with both, but yeah, it's exciting.
Good. And do you think you'll do some more solo competing stuff, or are you?
I don't know.
Where are you with that at the moment?
I don't know. I still really enjoy the music because, like, I think a lot of pipers who go out of that sphere tend to look down on it almost. But like, it's a huge respect for it, and I enjoy listening to a good pipe, you know, a good MSR, like a good medley. I don't know. I think everybody says at this point, like, oh, I think I'll do it again this summer. I've known you to say that actually. So
I know, not even again. I think I might try it or something like that. No, that's great. Well, listen, it's been great chatting to you, finding out a bit more about your kind of earlier days in piping and where you're going, when you're going next, and we'll get the lesson after this. Yeah. This is a wee add-on to the lesson, but it's been a pleasure chatting to you, Finlay, and good luck with everything that's coming for you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
2, 3, 4. There we go.